Once upon a time, there lived a woodcutter who was an enlightened spiritual master. A disciple approached the woodcutter and asked, "Master, what did you do before enlightenment?" The humble woodcutter answered, "Every day I woke up early in the morning, did my ablutions and prayers. Then I traveled into the forest, cut trees, fetched wood, and during the afternoon break, cooked my meal, had my lunch, followed by a short nap and prayers. And then I went back to work, cut more trees, fetched more wood, and in the evening, supplying the collected wood to the neighborhood traders, I returned home, had a hearty supper, and retired to bed." The curious disciple once again asked, "What do you do now, Master, after enlightenment?" The woodcutter, matter of fact, responded, "I wake up early in the morning, do my ablutions and prayers. I travel to the forest, cut trees, fetch wood, and during the afternoon break, I cook my lunch, have a short nap, and then after prayers, I go back to work, cut more trees, fetch more wood, and then in the evening, supplying the collected wood to the neighborhood traders, I return home, cook my supper, after a hearty meal, retire to bed." The disciple was a little disappointed. He was expecting something extraordinary, something profound. He was also baffled. Looking at his confused expression, the woodcutter then clarified. Enlightened living is not about doing different actions. It is about doing the same actions differently. Enlightened living is not about doing different actions. It is about doing the same actions differently. The difference is in the qualitative shift that happens to the motive that drives every action. Krishna calls enlightened living as yajna. Yajnarthat karmanonyatra lokoyam karmabandhanaha tadartam karma kaunteya muktas sangas samachara. In the 3rd chapter of the Gita, Krishna emphatically declares every action that is not done as yajna becomes a cause for bondage, becomes a cause for one getting trapped in the cycle of samsara, where one is perpetually subjected to afflictions of all kinds. Every action that is not performed as yajna becomes binding and not liberating. It is not the action per se that is binding in nature, it is the motive that drives the action. If the action is performed with a motive that is self-centered, if it is performed for the sake of sense gratification alone, then such an action, which is selfish in nature, is binding and not liberating. The same action, when it is performed as yajna, becomes liberating in nature. Therefore, Krishna says, perform every action as yajna, without personal attachments, without selfishness. Yajna is a multi-dimensional word with several meanings. For now, let us understand yajna as selflessness, nobility. Enlightened living is a product of noble actions. A noble action is that action which is selfless and is aligned to a higher cause. What is a higher cause? The cause of a team, the goal of a team is the higher cause for all the team members. Everyone wants to win, but if the team does not win, there can be no victory to the team members. Whether we know it or we do not know, we are all working in teams all the time. In this world, which is interconnected, interdependent, where every entity is interconnected and interdependent with each other, we are always working in teams. Therefore, individual action is necessary and crucial, but not sufficient for success. Individual action is necessary and crucial, but is not sufficient for success. Success is a byproduct of yajna. Yajna is contributory selfless work aligned to a higher cause. When two individuals team up, 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 is simple arithmetic. But if these two individuals are rooted in selfishness, 1 plus 1 can become 1 or even 0. But when these two individuals are rooted in yajna, then 1 plus 1 can actually become 1, 1. Yajna assures extraordinary success. This fundamental principle is applicable everywhere, in family, at workplace, and in our society. Yajnarthat karmanonyatra lokoyam karmabandhanaha tadattam karma kaunteya muktas sangas samachara. Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu.